Okay, so we're just going to do a little quick update before I really start my day. Now, mind you, I've been up for several hours already. And it's 9 a.m. now. I got up. It wasn't even daylight. It was just coming into daylight, so maybe 4:35, something like that. Anyway, did some computer stuff. As best as I could see, people. Anyway, yesterday was Shimei's, would have been Shimei's birthday. Yeah. So just kind of, just slipped on by. Now, mind you, I don't get all, it's a birthday, and, it's just not that way. But either or. Okay, so we're just going to do a little quick update on the foundation bootleg style. Like the good old days. So we have a new board director who's taking on the position of secretary-treasurer. And she's a whippersnapper when it comes to numbers. So I figure with just that innate talent that she has, she can help me clean up the foundation's ledgers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work on downsizing the accounts between Van City and HSBC to where they're, I don't want to say more manageable, right? But under the circumstances, it's a new beginning. Let's just put it that way. I think I've said that before. It's like a new beginning. So with the new beginning said, sometime within the year, now we go from July to July in terms of our annual general meetings, because that's when we used to do park events, was always in July. I think maybe one year we did it in August, but for the most part they were always done in July. And so I suggested that we try and do a little event of some kind at some point in the future. And the reason I say that, people, that light is bright, eh? Oh, my eyes are so sore. They're starting to get grainy. When they're getting grainy, you have to go to the hospital or emergency or go see a specialist or something. Right? But I have to wait for this court stuff, because if I'm in a, we don't know what they're going to do with me in the hospital, people. Like, seriously. Judge will be okay, right? And then, for whatever reason, I can't get to my computer and sign into MS Teams. He'll think I dropped the ball, when in fact I might be going through eye surgery or something dumb like that yet. So I have to wait. Plus I have to do the basement. So many things I have to do. That's always been the problem. Anyway, what was I saying? An event. Now the reason I say that is because when I went to the park for the birthday celebrations, there was a lot of people there. But nobody was mingling. Nope. It was weird. It felt like a park event in terms of a park event, right? Compared to what it was, I wouldn't even call it a social gathering. People were social gathering within their groups, but they weren't interconnecting or intermingling among the whole group. So in other words, you got a group over here, You had the Punjabis, I guess they had a wedding with all the women dancing in a circle, and the men way over there on the grass playing poker. I don't know what they were playing, but whatever, right? The men over there, the women over there, the women dancing, the men playing cards, okay, whatever. And then over there, it was like maybe like an Asian like an Asian group. I wouldn't even consider them a family, right? But because it's like a whole group, right? And they're all doing their things, and then you've got, you know, that group over there, and there's another group over there. Everybody walking, but nobody talking. Nobody, you know, just it was weird. It was just weird. It made me want to bring out the drums, people. That's what it made me feel when I was participating in that environment. To where I know that if I would have done that, I offered to bring them. I said, Tisha, we can bring the drums. Just keep it simple. I said, okay. So anyway, if I would have brought the drums, like the big bass drum I have, that one, and put it in the walkway of people's paths as they go from wherever they go, but they're not, right? They just straight line from point A to point B, and then they come back, and, you know, and right? Through that walkway, center point, whatever, you would have had somebody stop by and want to bang on those drums. It's like a mic. As soon as you got a mic, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of, especially kids, they just love mics. They love to hear their voices. Right. The drum is the same way. Out of 10 people, two or three are going to want to bang on it. Yeah. And then once that happens, you know, they're starting to intermingle. Walk away with a smile on their face. Right? Unless, of course, you get a naysayer that comes in and says that you can't do that because it's, you know, making too much noise in a park. It happens, right? That's like pulling down that American flag. Which, in a situation like that, I'd have flags up, right? So that's what I mean by, like, just a little event at bootleg style. Because, like, the first time I ever did a park event, I know for a fact I didn't have a license. I know for a fact, but I don't remember how I hooked up with the daycare to get the hydro, because we needed the hydro to set up the equipment. I went off and I bought the DJ equipment that I have now after all these years, specifically for that park event. My turntables, my mixer. We still have the original DJ. We still have the original DJ kicking around in the background, so that would be nice if we could call him in for an event. But that's a long way off. So before we do that, we'd probably just do something small. Just book a day at the park and bring out some drums and some tambourines and just, you know, maybe set up a few crafts. I got them around the house. And I don't know. Clean up the books, and I want to get into some hat sales, so maybe this is where Rhea can help with that, because, you know, she can see and she uses the cell phone. So I figure I'm going to set her up with a computer. I'm trying to figure out which computer I want to give her. Just old operating. It would be an offline computer where she can work offline. She can do her income statements, expense report, give her a program where she can type. I'm going to give her a program, these are my programs, right, that she expressed wanting to make gifts. I don't know about emanations, but I know she was talking about making gifts, which are those, you know, the pictures, right? Designs. She wanted to get into designing. So I have a basic program where I'm pretty sure she can experiment with it, because I've experimented. I just don't have time, right? And see what happens, right? And that's what I'm going to do. So, in regards to the trademark, I don't know. Don't know if I want to spend $3,000. I'd have to borrow the money for that. I would do it on principle. I'd do it for Uncle John, on the foot that we started on. In terms of standing your ground. But if the ground is shaking, which it is, because this house is shifting, with all these big ass trucks going back and forth, front and back, like not even freaking 50 feet away from the house itself, right? You know, like for years and years, like what 2-3 years, and they still got the big ass trucks going back and forth in the front. That's why these property developers tear down the old houses, because as they're building in these, whatever these things are, they look like apartments, right? Don't even call them condos, they're more like apartments. Smaller than an apartment, really. When they, do all that, rip up all the trees, and, just destroy the landscape, and they create problems for the houses around them. And it's like my neighbor being flooded out, and trees dropping in her yard, right? Because of all the water saturation and all that shit. And speaking of that, I've got like Tisha's room, the business room, there's a mildew issue in there, and it's coming from under the floorboards. When the electrician came and changed that light in the kitchen, I asked him, like, do you know anything about floorboards and all this crap, right? Because, downstairs they're cracking and shit, and he says, oh, well, let me go take a look. So we walked on them and stuff. I said, well, what's your opinion on it? He said, well, they're not that bad yet. In other words, eventually they're going to have to be changed. And I said, well, why are they doing that? And he says, because of the foundation itself sweating underneath. So this year, no matter what, I don't care if I have to climb up the fucking ladder, people. That gutter over there needs to be freaking fixed. I bought the pipes, for the most part, right? The guy I tried to get was ripping me off, so I had to fire him. I don't know why my landlady just doesn't fucking fix it. Because it's like, it's rotting out the foundation of the house, because all it does is, you've seen the videos. It just torrents of fucking rain, pull, and that room is like so musty. Maybe when they changed the pipe underneath in the bathroom and then broke the mainline pipe, maybe there's another freaking crack in the pipe. I don't know. I just know that when they come and start ripping up this and ripping up that, they do. They change the landscape, and to hide that fact, that's why they tear down a whole street of houses, all in a row. It's because they're hiding the problems that they created with the houses as they're building these apartment buildings. Oh, stupid. So anyway, I don't want to think about any of that right now. Right? With this of moving things around, I'm trying to put it in my head. Work your way out. Right? I'm tired of not having a proper porch, and this one's rotting out. And I can't stop it from being saturated because, but I do the best I can, I guess. A leaky boat is better than no boat. So, going to have a yard sale soon. I'm debating whether I should just keep it in the back and keep it simple, or bring it to the front, set up a canopy. I'm not bringing out the DJ equipment, but I do have a rechargeable amp you can plug in a guitar with, I think, or a mic. You know, those little portable ones you carry, right? So nothing fancy. And so I have to dig out the, you know, the recharging cord and plug it in, see if it still works. I've only used it a couple times, so there's no reason why it wouldn't. So alright. And in this way the boys can stand out there and talk on the mic and encourage people to come by and take a look, and you know, it's just going to be a hassle pulling everything out to the front. But I figured do that a couple, 2-3 times before the end of the year, and then whatever's left, I'm just going to donate it. Right? And now that I've got somebody that's, you know, interested in helping me in terms of, well, you know, we do have a GST number, and there is a way for us to make a bit of money. And, you know, maybe, because she's a whippersnapper, maybe, you know, maybe we'll put an application in for a grant or something for something small, just to, like the good old days, build on program development. She's a young woman. She has 3 kids, right, people? I don't want to rob her of you know, inspiration. And I don't know if hope is really the right word for it, but hopeful, maybe. It's kind of like hope, where you know, opportunity comes knocking, and with opportunity comes, you know, opportunity. You develop skills with opportunity. You know, you can get a break, like a good break, get lucky kind of break, right? With that opportunity, that is. You gain knowledge, definitely. And I don't want to take that away from her in terms of me being a sourpuss. Jaded. Right? Over-opinionated. That's a big one. I suppose biased from time to time, depending on the subject. Right? I don't think that should interfere with the quote-unquote foundation and its mandate. And being that she's got young kids, you know, it's important to keep, I guess you can say, those opportunities alive with the hope of success, regardless of what's around you. So my job is to nurture her to be the best that she can be in terms of a secretary-treasurer that can help to bring the foundation to a whole new level. Because she's youthful, she has energy, she has intelligence, she has motivation, she has reason, right? She's got a lot of reasons. Just like me when I was young, I had a lot of reasons too. In terms of everything that I've been trying to do all these years with the foundation, right? So I suppose it's my job to not deny that to other people, especially for those that are showing an interest. And being that I went to a birthday celebration in a park where, you know, clearly people were disconnected, you know, I'd like to bring in a bootleg New Nations Unity community celebration just to lighten the mood and get everybody rocking. Right? They'll go home and they'll be like, what was that? Right? So I better be careful of what trinkets I toss out the door, because I might need them, right? You know, because I'm under this pressure to get rid of all this shit, and I'm like, just like, whoa, slow down. And last night I was working, and I'm like, get rid of this, get rid of it. And I'm like, okay, well, just calm down. You know, you don't want to be too quick on this until you know for sure exactly where you're going with things. Right. So is that it? I guess so. That's the quick update.